The tensions in the Middle East have taken another dramatic turn after former U.S. President Donald Trump delivered a sharp response to reports that Iran had reached out seeking talks. According to multiple reports, Iranian officials signaled a willingness to open communication channels with the United States amid escalating conflict in the region. But Trump's reaction was blunt and uncompromising. His message was simple: it may already be too late. Welcome to USA Latest Update, your trusted source for breaking political news, powerful analysis, and the stories shaping America's future. From Capitol Hill decisions to major global developments, we bring you the facts, the context, and the impact, all in one place. If you want real updates without the noise, you're in the right place. Let's dive into today's big story. Speaking to reporters and posting on social media, Trump claimed that Iranian leaders were now trying to make contact after suffering major military setbacks. He argued that Iran's defenses and military leadership had been severely weakened during the ongoing strikes carried out by the United States and its allies. According to Trump, Tehran is now attempting to return to the negotiating table, but the opportunity for diplomacy may have already passed. Trump's remarks came at a time when the conflict between Iran and a U.S.-Israel coalition has intensified dramatically. Airstrikes, missile exchanges, and military operations across the region have raised fears of a wider war in the Middle East. Analysts say the stakes are extremely high, with the possibility that further escalation could draw in additional countries and disrupt global energy markets. Reports suggest that Iranian intelligence figures may have quietly reached out to American officials through indirect channels, possibly exploring the possibility of a ceasefire or negotiations to end the fighting. However, the situation remains extremely complicated, with both sides publicly maintaining tough positions. Trump, however, appeared unwilling to entertain the idea of immediate talks. In his comments, he suggested that Iran's military infrastructure had already been devastated. He claimed that key parts of Iran's air defense systems, naval forces, and air force had been severely damaged or eliminated during recent operations. Based on that assessment, he argued that Tehran's sudden interest in negotiations comes only after suffering heavy losses. "They want to talk now," Trump said in remarks reported by media outlets. "I told them, you're being a little bit late." The comment quickly spread across global headlines and social media, becoming one of the most widely discussed statements in the ongoing crisis. At the same time, Trump signaled that his administration, or a future administration aligned with his policies, would only consider negotiations under very strict conditions. In some statements, he suggested that any agreement with Iran would require major concessions, even hinting that only an unconditional surrender could end the conflict and open the door to rebuilding relations. Iranian officials, however, have pushed back against the narrative that they are urgently seeking talks. Some leaders in Tehran say they are not asking for a ceasefire and accuse Washington of abandoning diplomacy in favor of military pressure. They argue that negotiations had previously been attempted but collapsed after strikes were launched during earlier diplomatic efforts. This disagreement highlights the growing gap between the two sides. While Washington claims Iran is now reaching out because of battlefield losses, Iranian officials insist they are prepared to continue resisting military pressure and defend their country against foreign attacks. Meanwhile, the broader international community is watching closely. Global markets have reacted to every new development in the crisis, especially because of concerns over oil supply routes in the Persian Gulf. Even rumors of negotiations or secret diplomatic outreach have caused fluctuations in oil prices and stock markets around the world. Security experts warn that the situation remains extremely volatile. With missile strikes and military operations continuing across the region, any miscalculation could trigger a wider regional war. Countries across the Middle East are increasing security measures, while diplomats quietly attempt to prevent further escalation. Trump's "too late" remark has now become a defining moment in the unfolding geopolitical drama. Supporters say it demonstrates strength and resolve, while critics argue that refusing talks could prolong the conflict and make a peaceful resolution more difficult. For now, one thing is clear: the crisis between the United States and Iran has entered a dangerous new phase. Whether diplomacy eventually returns or the conflict continues to escalate may depend on what happens in the coming days. As the world watches closely, the question remains unresolved. Was Iran's outreach a genuine attempt to open negotiations, or simply a strategic move during a time of intense pressure? And perhaps the biggest question of all is whether the window for diplomacy has truly closed, or if it might reopen before the conflict spirals even further out of control. Thank you for watching USA Latest Update. If you found this report informative and valuable, make sure to hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to USA Latest Update for the latest political news and breaking updates from across America. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an important story. Stay informed, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next update. L.